Which means you need to be quiet in order to hear what he's saying.
I'll be taking you guys around. If you have any questions, you can just stop me and ask me, right? Well, I guess as much everyone here know like they're at Belmont Estate. What have you guys heard of Belmont Estate before coming here? Does anyone know anything about Belmont Estate, like altogether?
No, sir.
Huh? I mean, don't be scared to say anything.
No, sir. No.
Okay, first of all, I'll give you guys a little bit of history about the estate, right? If you guys had to make a wild guess to say, let's say how old the estate was, what would you say?
89 years.
29. Now 29 is way too young.
89.
Huh?
What?
20 too young still.
300.
300 how much?
320.
No, more.
335. 335.
360. Yeah. And back then, the only thing they used to do on the estate is actually grow coffee, right? So it was firstly a coffee plantation. And like, you know, in the days of, let's say, sugarcane farming, if there's like any history students here, like that was in the mid... Alright, no, I thought you asked that question. That was like in the mid 1700s, for instance, right? So the most found here like since. Yeah, so this tamarind tree has been here quite a while as well. Yeah, as you can see, like half of the trunk is gone, it's still standing and so on, right? It's a pretty old tree. Then again, after the Scots left, like in the latest of the 1700s, Sir Houston, who was a lieutenant in the British Army, he then came down here, then he took over the estate and he started growing nutmegs, right? So he came from coffee to sugarcane, then over to nutmegs in the latest of the 1700s. And the last owners who took over the estate was the Nag family. And the Nag family, they were like, well, back then it wasn't a family, it was just like two people, husband and wife, right? They came from India in 1944. They took over the estate and they bought it for like 35,000 pounds, which would have been a lot of money back then in 1944. Well, I guess as much everyone from the group right here is from Grenada, right? So all of you like basically have a very fair idea of what a cocoa tree actually looks like. Basically, like these are the different pods. They have some tiny white beans which you later on call like cocoa beans, and we use them for the production of chocolate, right? The variation in color amongst the pods, or the different colors, will basically tell you guys what? Huh? You said it? Huh? Yeah, basically like the stage of maturity, right? So if you see a green one, you can tell it's pretty young. If you see a red one, that's what? No. Half right. If you see a yellow one, it's like fully matured and ready for harvesting, right? So it goes from green to red to yellow. Yeah? So when it's yellow, then the harvesting. Yes, processing. Yeah, so it's terribly busy here on Wednesdays. So that's what it means like to be an agent. We buy from the farmers. Yeah, on Wednesdays. You could just bring it in here and you get some money for it, right? Yeah? Yeah, not for one cocoa. For a pound of wet beans, like you know when the beans just come from the pod, you get $1.30. Yeah? So you know those little buckets, you know those little buckets what they still pigtail in? Yeah? Those little buckets what they still like pigtail, you know those short buckets so? Yeah? Those buckets like would weigh about 35 pounds, right? So if you bought one bucket like that, you'd be getting about $43 EC, right? So basically you can make a lot of money. Yeah, just a lot of hard work. Yeah, so basically every Wednesday all the farmers will come in here with their beans, and the thing is all the farmers will come in at the same time, right? So there's so many farmers in here, like it kind of gets very noisy and like chaotic. So to avoid the chaos, as a farmer, take a number and wait their turn, right? So you as a farmer, if you came in here, you take your number first, you wait is called a sifter. Yeah? If you guys notice, there's several holes in the bottom of the sifter. The holes are to, let's say, drain out. Huh? The what? We're here? Yeah. I'll tell you in a bit. Yeah? Nonetheless, right? The holes in the bottom of the sifter, what do you think they're for? Air. Because the first thing we do, right, when we get the beans from the farmers and we take them from the buckets, we empty all the beans into this wooden structure right here. So if you notice, right, there are a lot of holes in the bottom. What the holes are for? To drain what?
The juice.
The juice, right? Yeah, definitely. You'll slime whatever you want to call it. No, it's not to do the smell, right? What happens, you know the beans are very soggy and sticky, right? So what would happen, like the beans would have a lot of excess water if we store the beans like in a bucket or a container. So if you came in as a farmer, like we're paying you for your beans, and you know like your beans have a lot of water and we don't drain it out, would you not add extra water so you could get extra dollars? Yeah, basically, right? So we have to drain the water out so it would be only beans, basically. So all the excess water will drain right here. So like it goes straight onto the ground. So if you guys ever like came to Belmont on a Wednesday, you'd not want to be wearing a slippers or sandals, you know, because you don't want to, because it'd be very sticky and wet all over. So after all the excess water is drained, if they're like little sticks, leaves or stones, we sort them out by hand, throw them in the garbage, and then everyone, there's a hole at the end of the sifter right here. We tie a plastic bag, or what we call in Grenada a fine bag, right? At the end of the hole right here, We scrape all the beans into the frying bag until it's filled up. Then we place on the scale right there, we'll weigh the beans so we can pay the farmers in accordance to the amount of pounds of beans they brought in, right? You guys notice there's some rows of lines in the beans over there? What do you think causes those rows? Huh? No, like little lines in the beans. Like all those little lines over there.
You know what this thing
Why the budget for this? Definitely, right? Someone said they someone that so those that are on the bottom would come to the top and the sun would hit every inch of every bean, right? So basically they want the beans to get the beans dried fast, right? And the reason we okay, I want to ask a question. If rain happens to fall very fast, what do you think we do with the beans? How do you cover this? Yeah, right? So basically we just slide off them inside so the beans will actually get wet, right?